Okay, and I'll just record the session for myself as well. Hopefully I can capture it properly. So yeah, let's get started. Let me begin. So what we're going to be learning here, guys, it's Active Directory, right? If you have any questions, please speak up or let me know. I'll keep going back to the chat time to time to check as well if in case I missed anything, and I'll share that with you as well. Active Directory is basically the base of a lot of bigger organizations, whether they're Windows based or Linux based. And give me one sec, let me share it. Okay. So, we'll start off with that again. Yes. So Active Directory works basically. It's a Windows software. It works and it manages any organization group policies, like when a user starts, the user ID is created. My expectation is generally some people might have IT background right now to begin with, and some might just be completely beginner, which is totally fine. Or other people just might be looking to upgrade their career within IT. Your objective should be, and my objective is to develop a deeper understanding of what Active Directory is. And hopefully I can prepare you guys for an interview and jobs. And if you guys want to write the exam, that's the exam is 7-740. You need to prepare for it. The only thing about this exam is Microsoft is retiring this exam at the end of this month. So January 31st, they're retiring it. I do have all the questions for you guys if you want to learn it. You can just read the PDF file, memorize it, go write the exam itself. You will pass it, and we can keep continuing this class forward for you to learn. So if someone wants the PDF or interested in learning it, let me know and I can go from there, right? So far so good. Any questions? A little bit about me is, so what am I, what do I do? Initially, right after the college, I went into finance. First, I worked for a bank called CIBC, then I worked for Citi or Citigroup, and I moved up within the ranks, and I spent about 7 years working in the financial industry. In 2010, when Citi laid off their about 1/3 of workforce, I was one of them. So, and at that point, I decided I did not want to go back into finance. I didn't really enjoy it. I was there for the sake of being there. And afterwards, I went back to school. I took IT classes, and it was hey, how are you? It was an accelerated course. In school, it was 8 months long, and I did some studying on the side myself. And afterwards, I started looking for IT job. My first IT job was I started off from basic help desk, just working $14 an hour, and then got a job as a junior system administrator. Learned a lot at that job, and there I got my hands on in a live environment where I did a lot of system administrator work, desktop support, networking, some backup setup solutions, along with everything else. Then I moved into another role where I supported MDM, mobile management devices. At one point when BlackBerry was the thing, so I implemented BlackBerry deployment for about up to 800 devices for region of Peel, which is a governmental body within Toronto, if anyone who is from there. Afterwards, I've been on my own business venture as well, and I'm working full-time. My business is basically a side business where we provide managed service support for other organizations, whether they're non-profit or for-profit. Along with that, while I was doing that, I managed to acquire the Azure certification, leading the Azure project management, and right now I'm working more in asset management and as a Scrum master as well. The The next goal is to complete my project management within the next few months and then excel within that area. Teaching is something I always enjoyed to do, so that's why I wanted to prepare this material and just offer it to whoever is interested, because IT literally did change my life. I do want to know more about everyone else. Um, and so, if you guys can kind of tell us more about who you are, what you do, or what level of computer literacy you have, that way I am going to tailor the course so I know how fast I need to go or how slow I need to go for everything else. So, who wants to go first? Okay, Ryan, last year college, studying comp sci and business. Thank you, Ryan. Yes, go on. My microphone isn't really working. Not a problem. Just ask any questions if you have, and I'll keep coming back to the chat. Yes, who else wants to go? Yes, I can. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No problem. First, it's very commendable that you're still pursuing it despite the challenges. One thing, just to be like very clarified, and this one, we're not really touching networking cloud computing, although I can give you a background on it. Active Directory is the foundation of everything else. If you have a hybrid on-prem location with Azure and or AWS or GCP mixed together, Active Directory plays a role on it. If you have two separate sites running, Active Directory plays a role on it, and you will see the importance of it. And I will hopefully I'll add value to your knowledge. And thank you. So yeah, who wants to go next? If anyone's mic is working, you guys can just use it. Yeah. Yes, I can. No problem, man. Yeah, no problem. Who else is there? Jacob and I briefly spoke. Zoeb talked. Ryan also. Now that's left Sean and Vakar. Oh, okay. Yeah, you might have to reboot it if that's the challenge you're having, or sometimes I'm running into that issue too sometimes with my laptop. But yeah, you can check your recording settings if you want. You can reboot it, or you can just type in chat, whatever you prefer, Sean. Okay, so I guess Sean will come back and. Oh, I guess Zohaib dropped off. What about you, Bakar? Any luck, Sean? Okay, Bakar, do you want to go in the meantime till Sean is fixing up his microphone? Yeah, I can't share you, but I guess for the sake of time, I'm going to get started now. Otherwise, we're going to lose a lot of time, guys. Let me go back. And if, like Sean, your microphone works later on, and same for Vakar, you guys can add what you need to say down the road, not a hard and fast rule. So if you want to add something, by all means, you can do it now or later. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes, I do. It's okay. Uh, okay. So whereabouts outside DC are you? I'm in Manassas Park right now. I'm in Manassas Park right now. Yeah, we can meet up, man. Yeah, because I go to work for in Arlington every day, so I pass Alexandria every day, literally twice. And some of my colleagues, they live in Alexandria or Fairfax. One guy lives in Woodbridge. But yeah, we can talk more offline about it too. It is. Yes. Yeah, now it's a ghost town. Yeah, now it's a ghost town. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna get started if that's okay with you. And if anyone has any questions, please ask. All right. Um, so actually, one question I have. So right now, what platform? And it'll be good knowledge for everyone else. What platforms are you using in your current environment? For yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's a stepping stone, right? Everyone knows you just come in and then you. One thing is to if you want to move up from help desk or whatnot is whatever comes your way, you don't want to say no. You just take it on as much as possible, and that's what I did to be very honest. And that's all it is you can do. So now going back to the course, and thank you everyone for the introduction. Got to know everyone else much better. We all, of course, need a laptop. If you have about at least 500 gigs of space, you're not going to need all 500 gigs. But and an i5 and a laptop which is virtualization capable, because we're going to be installing the VM player, Windows 10, 20, and Windows 2016. VCE player would come in handy if you actually do want to write the exam and if you have the VCE file for the course. But if you don't have that, I have the PDF. But just as a reminder, as I told everyone, that this certification is going to expire on the chance to renew the certification is going to expire on the 31st of January. So if you want to do it, just write it. It's $165 for that exam. You can register at Prometric and you can just write it even this weekend if you can manage to memorize. The exam itself is going to have about 40 to 60 questions, and the PDF has around 280 questions. So from that 280 questions, you're going to end up getting around 40 to 60 questions because there's about like 4 or 5 different versions of the same test, right? So digging into what is the course outline, first we can just kind of go into just the very basics. What is the OSI model? And then I want to go into installing Active Directory and Windows 10, and then discuss a little bit more what are your IP addresses, what is Active Directory, DHCP, DNS, and then I want to set up a new forest, new domain, creating usernames through Computer GUI and creating through PowerShell. We can set up a domain controller, which we have to. Then join the computers to the Active Directory. Figure out what the group policies are. We're going to try to implement a few group policies while we're at it. ADFS, which is Active Directory Federation Service, what it is and how it works, and talk about trust and authentication. Of course, we're not covering all of this just tonight. We're going to be going over it over the course of time. I did have a practice test here which I could share with you guys, but I feel like a lot of guys are too new, so you may not. You might, if you want to do it, I can put it in the chat. Just the basic questions, but you don't have to, just to kind of gauge your knowledge. Just speaking with everyone gives me an idea. And Ryan, you were in the army as well. There you go. Now you and Sean also have something in common. Okay. So far so good. Any questions? Okay, no. All right. So, what is an OSI model? Everything in IT is working on these seven layers. What you're seeing here. Everything you're touching, even if you're home, you're looking at your setup, you're basically working on these seven layers. The simplest is in your home, you can look at it. Which layer is your router? Which layer is your modem? Which layer is your laptop sitting at? When you're using your browser, which layer are you on? When you access your browser, what are you doing? When you ping something, which layer you are on? So that's something the OSI model is based on, and there are a lot of different acronyms for OSI model. If you want to search for the exam, if you're writing your networking plus, it'll tell you the first layer is your physical layer. So it's the physical structure, your coaxial, your fibers, your wireless hub, anything hardware related almost falls into your physical layer. Your data link layer is, let's say, your bridges, your Ethernet card, and how you're transferring the data from network. Then it comes down to your networking layer. You'll be sending packets from one location to another, and how are you going to do that? Then you have your transport layer. Transport layer is a connection from one end to another. Two of the more common one is you have no voice. Can you guys hear me? Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, hold on. Let me close my mic and then turn it back on. Give me 1 sec. Oh, really? How about now? Can you guys hear me? Give me a sec. How about now? Can you guys hear me now? Still nothing? Is this better? How about now? Can you guys you try reloading the page to fix the problem? Okay, give me a sec, guys. Can you guys hear me now? No? Let me see. How about now? Can you guys hear me? Let me just see. Yeah, hello? No, I know, that's what I'm trying to fix. I don't know why my volume, my sound is not working. Oh, no way. Okay. Really? That's strange. Okay, let me try to see. Okay. Bye. Okay. Okay, let me try to fix my voice. Yes. How about now? Okay. Is this? I can't hear you guys either. Let me log off and log back on. Okay. Hello, can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Hello. Hold on. Let me just go back to. Alright, can you guys hear me now? Hello. Yeah, can you guys hear me now? Oh, okay.
Yes, Faraz, we can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry guys. It was ultimately the old school headset works a lot better. So where did you guys lose me, or should I start from the top again?
We can just yeah, we can just continue.
Yeah, but where did you guys kind of lose me though? Like which part you guys stopped hearing me?
Guys, do you remember exactly where did we lose Faraz?
Okay.
Sean, do you remember? You're there.
I almost feel like it was almost after you posted the practice test, or
Oh
like
yeah, you were talking about the practice test and suddenly you were just
Oh,
gone.
okay. Okay, okay. So yeah.
like right after you finished with that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you guys didn't really understand anything about OSI model then? Oh, okay. Okay. No, I can go over it again. My mistake, guys. Sorry. So anything you're doing in IT, it's based on these 7 layers. Doesn't matter what your job title is. That's what OSI model is. You're either working on a physical layer anywhere up to the application layer. And even if you take a look at your home or your work, you're touching one layer at any given time where you're working. As you mentioned, Sean, you're doing a lot of help desk. So initially, when you're working with people, you're touching the application layer and presentation layer depending on the level of access you have. If you think about it from your home, like if you have your router set up and everything else, you're starting off basically from your physical layer, and then you're talking establishing a connection, then you're moving to your data link layer, and then you are on your Wi-Fi and everything. Then you're working with these 2 layers, a network layer, transport layer, setting up your devices, getting them connected to your Wi-Fi. And then you're establishing a session with them, you're putting in the password. Then you're seeing the splash page on your access point. So you're in your presentation layer, and eventually when you're accessing google.com, at that point you're in your you're in your application layer when your computer is up and running. On the right hand side is the same model, just with few more examples. So how physical layer you're looking at: coaxial, fiber, wireless, hubs, repeaters. Data link layer is frames, Ethernet cards, switches, bridges, anything else. Networking, when you're sending packets, and in which format are you sending the packets to, whether it's IPs, IPsec. Transport, there are two formats they usually look at it. It's the end-to-end connection, whether you're using TCP or UDP connection. You're sending that, and we can go into more TCP UDP later on. And sessions, how you're looking at it, which ports it's using. Presentation, what type of presentation it is it SSL, SSH, FTP, and then how you're viewing the information. Is it HTTP, DNS? HTTPS should also be here, but this image just didn't have that. So any questions about it?
Faraz, we can't see your PowerPoint presentation.
Okay. Yeah,
We can see your
told me
camera.
that right away. That I would. Yeah, why would you wait for that? If you can't see anything, guys, just interrupt me. Tell me.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu
Alright, now we can see it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Allah.
Can we do it again? If it's okay, it's just like
yeah,
the
that's
first
fine.
day, right? So we can just understand it better.
No, that's perfectly fine.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله
So, as I was saying earlier,
أشهد أن
everything is running on based on just these 7 layers in IT. Whatever you guys are doing, right? And these are the 7 layers which you are going to be working at any given time, any given day. It's just simple as that. I have more detailed examples here for you. What is a physical layer? So the lowest layer of the OSI model, that's your physical layer. If you want to see these images right now, it's the physical layer. If you go to your work tomorrow or you look at your home around, if you're sitting close to your router, cable, so this is the layer you're starting off with. Then by the time someone comes to your laptop or desktop, that's where you end up in. And in between all that, you are accessing all of these 7 layers until you get to it. If you want more in-depth explanation for it, so physical layer is the lowest layer of the OSI model, concerned with electrically, optically transmitting raw unstructured data bits across the network. Data link layer, I'll send you whatever we covered, these slides as well, so you would have it for your notes too. Data link layer directly connected the nodes from perform node to node data transfer. Before we had like the more complicated switches or anything like that. Before you get complex, you can just connect a straight network cable between 2 computers and you can still connect it. So that's kind of like your data link layer. Network layer, now you're throwing more complexities in there. As it says, network layer is responsible for receiving frames from data link layer, delivering them to an intended destination based on the addresses in the frame. So your home network is not going to connect to your neighbor's home network, or your work network is not going to connect to your business next door network unless you actually design it that way. That's what they're talking about in terms of network layer, because you have segregated everything based on IP addresses, based on class of IP addresses, and sometimes MAC filtering as well. So no one, hopefully a rogue machine or anything, can connect to it unless you authorize someone to join. Then comes the transport layer. It manages the delivery errors and it sends the data packets all across to everyone. Session layer controls the conversation between the different computers. Session connection between machines is set up to be managed or terminated at layer 5. So on your computers or laptops, when you see sometimes you can enable network discovery on your laptop, and you'll enable it at work, they may disable that feature. That's part of your session and network layer connectivity. That you just can't see the entire network for your organization, or you might only be able to see it partially for it. Presentation layer formats or translates data into application layer based on syntax, semantics, application. Because of this time also called syntax layer. This layer is also handle encryption, decryption. So what kind of data you're getting, you're not getting, that's where it's getting handled on your presentation layer. And on the application layer, ultimately, you would see what it is or what it's not. It could be you're using your web browser, Office 365, or any program related to your computer. That would be your application layer. Right now, all of us are connected through Google Hangout. So just to kind of go back to the diagram, of course, I have internet. I connected the internet to my Wi-Fi. I have network connection on my laptop. Then I've connected with the IP addresses. Then I have a session open, and over here I have SSH connected. Then I went to my google.com. I opened up Google Hangout. I sent everyone an invite, and you guys joined. But in between that, we're going through all these layers. Right now, how I'm transporting the data from you guys. Is it encrypted? Yes, it is. So we're using SSH. Am I using TCP or UDP? I know I'm using TCP. That's why I'm in the transport layer. Do I have an IP address? Of course I do. Am I hardwired connected? No, right now I'm wireless, but I'm still using the data link layer. And everything was not connected to my Xfinity internet, then I wouldn't be able to connect with you guys. So just a simple interaction between us 7 people is also involving 7 layers. When you go to your work, you look at things tomorrow, or even at your home, try to figure out which layer you're connected to. If you have Google Home, which layers are you guys using it on? Can you answer that, or can you guys figure it out? Google Home, Amazon, what do you guys think it's using which layers? Or your smart TV, which layers are you going through with those right now? Your Hipster network, okay. What else? What other layers? Yeah, session 2. What else? Yeah. Go on. Any other guesses? Yeah, you're right, Ryan. Transportation as well, yeah. So the short answer is, even if when you're turning on your smart TV, you're using all of these layers. When you turn on your smart TV, when you see the menu, you are on the application layer. When you're saying, okay, go fetch my Netflix, you're kind of talking to the presentation session layer. And before that, you have to make sure your internet is connected. You have internet all the way up to this point. And when you turn it on, you're kind of working between these 3 layers. So this is just a very simplest example of just one piece of hardware, how you're using. And in a bigger organization, you have much more moving parts, but we're still working within these 7 layers of what it is. How comfortable are you guys with IP addresses, and how deep you want me to go into it? I can certainly go into it as deep as I have the notes and further. If you think it's too much, then I can ease up on it. Ultimately, everyone knows what an IP address is, right? So it's an internet protocol. It's just your address, just like you have your home address, 1234, let's say, 1234 Microsoft Street, and unit number 1. That's how IP address is. So 192 could be your country, 168 could be your state, 1 could be your city or your street number, and 5 could be your house number. So that's how it needs to connect. And it's only 32 byte, but IP4, this is the IP4 format, which is going to be replaced with IPv6. It is happening slowly in the background. I mean, I think 1% or 2% of internet also has converted into IPv6 instead of IPv4. If you guys want to read up on it on your own time, you're more than welcome to do so. What you need to know more about it, whether it's a dynamic IP or static IP you're looking at. Dynamic IP, it's constantly changing. A static IP, you give it once and it stays the same. So if you go to your work, and we're talking about Active Directory now, it's never going to have dynamic IP. It's always going to have static IP, because all the other computers need to talk to it, and they need to know where to go to talk to it. If your dynamic, if it was Active Directory server was dynamic IP, it would not know, other computers would not know, okay, who do we need to go to connect to talk to? Where do we authenticate? So static IP is always easier to find in the computer, and then just go from there. So this is just a local basic diagram for home, you can even say. So you have your local network, you have an external IP address which they give you, and then from there you have your router, then this is your ISP, this is your DNS server. This is actually corporate environment, not home, sorry. And then from there, ISP router gives you your internet to the web server, and then the web server distributes everything else. So the DNS server is something I will go into much more deeper with Active Directory. If you guys know about it, that's cool. If not, I can explain much more for it. So far, any questions about IP? Okay. Or you want to discuss the 24 and the 26, what they are? That's the IP range is what you can have, Zohaib, in a work environment. So sometimes it will be like 192.168.1.2/24. It'll tell you like how many IP addresses you can have. Actually, it wouldn't do it this way. It tells you the IP range, and that's based on your your DNS. And I can go into it more into details as well. I'll send you some documentation if anyone else wants to know. I can do that too. But I will tell you more about it. So let me just finish this part off. So far, any questions? But that's actually a very good question. Just keep it aside and I will answer it towards the end. Anyone else? Have any questions? No? Okay. So as I was talking about IP4 and IP6, IP4 it's 32-bit, IP6 is 128-bit. Why are we moving away from IP4 to IP6? Well, because simply put, we're running out of IP4 addresses. When initially IP4 was designed, it was designed with 4.3 billion addresses you could have totally global. And it was deployed back in 1981. 1998, IP6 was designed because some things which we as humans didn't take into account was how many IP addresses we're going to be using. Now, just for myself, give you an idea, I have 2 cell phones when I walk around. I have a personal laptop, I have a work laptop, and then at home I have a few Alexas, and now, God, what, smart TV. So just alone as an individual, it's safe to assume I'm consuming maybe 15 to 16 IP addresses, which are just mine. So that was something not taken into account. And the other thing is the amount of information which is packed in IP4, it's not as efficient as it was. At one point it served the purpose. Now with IP6, they are, first it was only numeric, now it's hexadecimal included. So it supports a lot more information, a lot more feedback. You don't need any more NAT translation. It configures itself automatically. And with IP4s, if you're working, you must have noticed you're trying to do an IP address, then you figure out something else has that IP address, then you have to change and find another IP address. With IP6, you don't have to worry about that, and then the routing is much more efficient, and it's a lot more secure. Just because how complex you see it versus this alphanumeric hexadecimal to just dot numerical notation, it just makes it very complex and much more secure from this day and point. And easier administration, and then yeah, we can say goodbye to DHCP, which is something still every organization is using, but once IP6 is deployed completely, which might be next 10 to 15 years down the road from my estimation, then we can eliminate DHCP and everything else along the way. Now, it's safe to assume everyone's home that your IP address starts with 192.168 something something. Am I correct to assume that? Can you check and confirm from the server which IP address are used, which one are released or free? Zohaib, yes, you can, but you're saying that based on the assumption that the organization uses their Active Directory as DNS or DHCP server. Not every company will use that. Just because one, they don't want all the dependencies in your Active Directory, because if your Active Directory goes down, then your networking could also go down and user can log in, your network printer, everything else is down. So sometimes, or a lot of times, bigger organizations will separate their DNS away from Active Directory, and also DHCP server will be something else which is going to be assigning the IP addresses rather than the Active Directory, just not to load it and not also to make it a single point of failure. So far so good. It's a good question. Anyone else? Anyone else? Any questions? No? Going once. Okay. So going back into the IP addresses. So now we know IP4, what it is, what it does, and what's their limitation. But then how do we classify what is an IP address, right? So inside home, like I said, everyone has 192.168 IP address. But if I was to type, what is my IP? This is my external IP address. This is the one given to me by Xfinity. This is the IP address which comes in through the modem, then it talks to my router, and then that gets converted to internal IP address of 192.168, and then I can use that one public IP and run 15, 20 devices in my house simultaneously. If I didn't have a router, or if there was nothing else along those lines, I would probably have to get like 15 different IP for each. For my smart TV, separate IP. For each Alexa, it's like a separate IP address, or anything which is connecting to the internet. So that's why one IP address from public is coming through, and it's helping me just distribute it. Now this will kind of answer what Zohaib, the question you had, which was hash 24 and hash 26 or slash 24 slash 26. So IP addresses are divided into these classes, these 5 classes ultimately. Class C is the one which is used the most, and it supports up to 254 hosts. A lot of bigger organizations will use either Class A or Class B IP addresses, and then afterwards they would use for, these are the two I've personally seen use more, Class A and Class B. Class C I haven't really seen used too much. Why Class A? Because, well, you can support up to 16 million hosts on the network, and Class B, if you're a medium-sized organization, about 65,000 different hosts with 16,000 network. On here you have about 127 network. At home, you're not even going to touch close to all this, so you can support up to 254 hosts at home. So you could either run a small, medium-sized business based on this criteria, or you can run your home without any issues. Class D is just reserved for multicast. So when you're broadcasting, that's what Class D is reserved. And Class E is, we don't really use Class E. It's just reserved if you're doing any kind of research, if you have a grant from a university and you're part of a, I forgot the organization which actually gives you certification for IP addresses and distributing Wi-Fi frequency and all that. So those are the kind of companies they use it. So if you have like a D-Link router, they actually have to get the patent and the license from that organization so they can distribute 2.4 or 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi connectivity to your home or to your business. So those are the areas they're basically using the Class E IP address. So, and any other questions? Okay, let me just camera. So are you guys able to see the presentation properly still? Okay, hold on, let me see. I'm not sure why. Hold on, let me see, because I thought something changed. All right, can you guys see it now? Okay, sorry, that was my mistake. Okay, so any questions so far about the IP address, what we have talked about so far? Nope. Okay. Now, as I said, we'll go into DHCP. What is DHCP? Or what do you guys know about DHCP so far? Tell me, and then I can elaborate more on it. दरवाजा बंद कर दो. You guys can use your mic as well if it's working for you. If not, you can just type it out. So I just want to kind of gauge everyone's knowledge on this part. I have a 5 to 10 on comfort level with it. Okay. Okay. Plain line would have a hands on the original. Okay. How about you, Jacob, Bakar, Katie, and Sean? How are you guys with DHCP? All I know is once connected to the internet, you'll automatically have your IP address used unless you configure setting. Yeah, you're on the right track, Sean. Okay. So, okay, let's go and have a deeper dive in it. So, what you're saying, Sean, is right. I will go into more how is also happening. So, DHCP is a protocol, dynamic host configuration protocol, that provides quick automatic distribution of IP addresses within the network. So even whether it's your home or work, DHCP is at work in the background, and it's providing it based on the subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server information.
They're typing questions in the chat, just to let you know.
Okay, that's fine. Which will be reserved in DHCP, correct? Yeah, it will be. Well, for the server, you have to get a static IP, yes. Yes, it will be reserved for the DHCP. You are correct. Because last thing I want to do is, if there is a conflict with IP.
Praz, are you talking? Just asking. If you are talking, we can't hear you.
I am. Can you guys hear me now? My mic went on mute for some reason.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. If you can hear me, please let me know, because I don't know why this is a little funny playing around. So Zohaib, yes, your question is right. Which will be reserved with DHCP. I'm assuming you're talking about the server. So yes, you are right, because if I give something else that IP address, it should get rejected. And DHCP would not give out that IP address if it's reserved in DHCP, so there wouldn't be any kind of conflict there. So how does DHCP works ultimately? DHCP uses a process called DORA. It's discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. So anytime something happens, whether you're looking for an IP address at your work or your home, you come from work, you go inside your home, your phone is connected to your Wi-Fi is turned on, and your phone is talking to your router, and this is what's taking place. So your phone is your client, so to speak, or your laptop, if you're at work, is your client. It goes for discovery. It talks to the server. The server, it shakes hands, and then it says, okay, I validate you. Then it offers back to the client, and then it requests for an IP address. Then the server acknowledges it. Okay, you know what? You're authenticated. I recognize you. And now let's acknowledge it back with the IP address. And then it acknowledges it, and you have your IP address assigned to you at that point in time. And that's how DHCP works. Any questions so far? Now the fun stuff. Has everyone downloaded VMware Workstation and then the OS and the Windows 2016 and the Windows 2010 OS? All right. So Ryan is downloaded. Jacob, perfect. You have downloaded. What about you, Sean? Bakar? You have 2012. Okay, that's fine. As long as you have 2012, that's fine too. You can still connect with it. Sean, you got it. Okay, so are you guys okay if we just start the installation A to Z? I didn't install anything yet on my computer, so I figured I'll run it with you guys. So in case there's any problems or questions, we can tackle all of them together. Does that work?
Sorry for us, couldn't hear you. It got a bit cut out. What did you say? Can you repeat it again if you don't mind, please?
Not at all. I said that I didn't install this for myself either right now, just because I wanted to make sure that you guys will go through it all together, and in case you run into any problems, we'll sort it all out. So
Yeah, that'll be perfect for for everyone who doesn't have it. That'll be perfect. We'll be able to see on your end how it how the whole thing starts from the scratch.
yeah. So let's see. Where is my external drive? Little problems. Give me one sec. So you guys can start with disk management. Have it saved in the hard drive. Okay, there we go. The ISO. So first thing I'm installing is the VMware Workstation. Generally, if I have admin access, I want to install it as an administrator in a work environment, because then you have more access to the file structure. This laptop is an admin, but some people may not be able to run a program as an administrator in a work environment because they would not let you. You're not going to have that access. So just go for the yes. Just installing it. It's just running in the background and it's running pretty fast. So now, so I had this actually already. So I would just do repair.
the only reason I'm doing repair is because I ran into some challenges I remember last time, and I had forgotten that I actually had installed this before. So that's the only reason. But you guys follow through the next, and where it gives you, asks you for the serial number, just open up the key here, this particular key, and just put that in, and then you should be just good to go. Would it be helpful for you guys if you're troubleshooting or whatnot, if I have a Telegram channel for you guys where you guys can post questions to each other and ask each other in case there's assignments or whatever you need to work on? And I can create and I can post the link in the chat for you guys. Is that going to help you? Either it could be WhatsApp or it could be Telegram. I personally prefer Telegram. It's just easier to manage. Okay. How's everyone else doing on their installation? While you guys are doing that, I'll quickly create the Telegram channel and send you guys the link. I have a 16 Pro on trial. Yeah, that's perfectly fine if you have a 16 Pro on trial, because it gives you about 90-day trial version anyways, and then afterwards you can just uninstall it and reinstall it. VM Workstation will probably ask you to reboot your computer to take the full effect. So if you gotta reboot, you gotta reboot. That's fine, and then you guys can join the chat later. So that's the Telegram channel, guys. If you want to use it, by all means. Let me just give you the sharing access. Are any of you interested in writing the exam as well, or no? What's your take on it?
I'm thinking to start studying for A plus and security plus as well.
Um, for you personally, I don't think A plus is gonna do you much at this point. A plus is good to get started if you're in university or whatever. The
Okay.
fact that you're already working full time, they're just gonna look past your A plus.
Oh,
But
okay. Faraz, what is this Active Directory join chat? Sorry, this Telegram thingy. Sorry.
yeah, I sent a link in case you guys wanted like a connection outside this and you are working on assignment or anything and you're having troubleshooting and I'm
Okay,
not
okay, okay,
available.
cool.
So everyone can kind of help each other out. Wakar asked, what's the benefit for the exam? Wakar, it makes your one thing is some employers are looking specifically for people with certification. Not everyone, but some employers are looking for it. And the fact that you have the certification, it kind of opens more doors for you. People already expect you to know a few amount of things. The exam is about $165 US. But as I said, it's going to expire in about 11 days. So if you want to write it, I'll send you guys the questions. And you guys study hard. If you got to skip a class for this, study. And because the thing is, the license itself or certification, it's valid for the next 3 years. They're retiring it, but it'll still be valid for the next 3 years. There should be about 40 to 60 questions depending on the type of exam you get. And on the PDF, which has all the questions, there are about 280 questions, which you have to kind of read. What's the name of the exam again? Sorry. So it's AD 70740. That's the name. Okay, guys. So how are we doing with the workstation? Is it installed for everyone?
Well, I'm not being able to join that Telegram. Do I have to join it from my cell phone, or it should work like?
Um, I guess try it from your cell phone or
Okay.
even your chat, because I haven't really created much rules around it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I can help you guys troubleshoot this after. My bigger concern is to get you guys at least install um, Windows directory, uh, get you up to that point. So you should have something like this, a screen created once you guys are done. Look out in front of the camera. I have Workstation 14 Pro. Is that okay? Yeah, that's perfect. Look out if you have that. Kate, how are you doing with the VMware Workstation installation? Are you okay? And how about yourself, Sean, Ryan, Jacob? Okay, so it's completed for everyone. If it's completed for everyone, just please write yes or completed on the chat so I know if we're waiting for someone. Completed, okay. So we're waiting. more people, and then we will just kind of get started. Sean and Ryan, did you have to restart your computer? Because I didn't see you guys disappear. I have to, yes. Sean, no. Okay. Did it ask you to restart your computer, Sean? Oh, interesting. Yeah, because it asked me as well earlier. How about yourself, Jacob? And Kate? Okay, so you're good too. Okay, perfect. And Zohair Bakar, you guys are good? You have it? Perhaps that it was due to the fact that I didn't select the keyboard option. I'm not sure. It could be. I really don't know. Alright, so everyone is there. We can start with creating the first virtual machine. What we do is we're going to go for custom. And custom, we're using, yeah, we can use 14. We're not, hold on, ESXi server, no. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so just do recommended over here. Now install image, locate where your ISO is. For me, it would be my Z drive, ISO, Windows Server 2016 Data Center eval. Operation easy install, okay. I don't have a product key, which is fine. I'm gonna create my own admin here, DevOps, and my own password. Which is fine. Now it's saying I did not install. Bakar saying my icon folder is empty. What do you mean by that, your icon? Kate, you can use your own ISO as well. You don't have to download mine. If you have it, it's the same file. As long as an Active Directory is a feature we add. Minus Kali. What do you mean yours is Kali? Kali Linux? No, we don't need Kali Linux for it. We need... No, the ISO for Kali Linux is completely separate. I have Kali Linux too, but we need Windows. In that case, you would have to download the ISO, which I have on my shared folder. Then download that, please. And I can help you catch on. But in the meantime, just kind of keep watching what we're doing. Or unless you have another ISO, which is Windows 2016 or 2012, you should be good with that. So, okay, so it's just asking that I did not enter a Windows key. Will install later, but must be manually activated. Would you like to continue? Yes, I would. I am going to change my location because I'm running out of space. Actually, my F drive. Yeah, I'm probably gonna save it on my Z drive here, which is my network. Virtual machine. Okay. Z virtual machine. Does this ISO have to be in the same location as my VM folder? No, it does not. Has to be. It just initially needs to get booted up, and then afterwards you can go ahead and you can continue from there. So Windows 2016, minimum disk size, it does ask for 60. You can make it even up to 40 gigs if you're running out of space, and you should be okay. You can look at it into either storing it as a one big single file or multiple files. Multiple file, it just makes it easier for the virtual machine when you want to expand it or you want to move it forward anywhere else. That's what it does. I generally like the multiple files in case my folder or my file gets corrupted. My entire OS is not going to get corrupted. Only maybe a portion of it is going to get corrupted in case something goes bad. So just a little bit more safety on my end. That's why I prefer virtual multiple files. And Kate, make sure you download Windows 10 and Windows 2016, please, because we're going to install both. One thing is, for my liking, the RAM is way too little. I need to go and customize the RAM. Ideally, the recommended is about 8, but I only have, I think, 8 gigs on my computer, so I would do this. Make sure network adapter is set to NAT, or you can do bridge actually. No, just keep it at NAT, and we can talk about NAT and bridge down the road too. Processors, I would probably bring it up to 2, depending on your computer. Mine is a little bit older, so I'm gonna go for 2 and 2 over here. You're just designing the hardware for your computer, so in a work environment, what's gonna happen is no one's gonna have 4 gigs of RAM. 4 gigs of RAM is a joke. Minimum you might have on a Windows VM would be maybe 60 gigs of RAM, 70 gigs of RAM, at the lowest case scenario possible, and then you work your way up, and the physical server carries a lot more RAM, 500 gigs or whatever the case might be. So you do that, and then you hit finish. And it shows up over here. Press any key to reboot. And if you are in there and if you want to release the mouse, you just press Control and Alt, and it releases the mouse. I got Intel VTX disable error, so that means, Ryan, you would have to go restart the computer, go to your BIOS, and enable Intel virtualization. Enable Intel virtualization technology. Let me just show you how to go about it. So that's something you would have to do before you can go forward. So just BIOS setup, and then you go to select virtualization technology, and then you enable it. It just literally takes like 2-3 minutes, just because of the reboot, and then you should be just good to go. Let me send you the link on chat. Just follow these steps. Yes, Sohaib, before running the VM, you do need to enable that. I think I did it on my previous job. Yeah, if you were using VMs, you definitely enabled it. Windows cannot make sure installation source a valid restart, which is fine. We haven't put any key in it. That's why it was giving me that error. Is everyone good up to this point? So far so good? Are you guys keeping up? Okay. No problem, Kate. Okay, let's see why it's not letting me install this. Give me a sec. It should. Okay, I'll just use the R2 for now. Are you guys getting the same error? That it's not letting you install this? If not, then I can upload the R2 file.
For us, I think for 2016, there is a different way to install it. I remember last time when we worked on it, first you have to create a VM without the operating system, and then you attach the
Then you mount
ISO. Yes, then you mount it.
Okay, let me try that.
With 2012, you can directly do it. With 2016, I think you have to create a VM first, and then mount the operating system setup with it.
Okay, let's check. That's good, we're troubleshooting. So connect the power on. So the VM is created. Jacob, which issue are you referring to? It's the one which we're running into? Okay. Hope that is the case. Set up the starting. Because I do remember now that Zohaib also mentioned you did too, that certain instances I did had to do that. I just couldn't remember what were the scenarios. The server file I think is around 6 gigs or 7 gigs. The server file, yeah, 6.8 gigs. So almost touching 7 gigs. Windows cannot make sure the installation source are valid and restart the installation. Let me just check. Let me do a quick Google search. VM workstation install. Are you guys running into the same error? Let me just quickly check. Okay, good. Yeah, I got that one. Okay, I fixed this. Okay, yeah, Zoeb, you are right. So we have to do first install it. So let's just scrap this one. Let's shut it down. And then let's create another virtual machine. Sorry guys, I had completely forgotten about this issue. And then we'll say we'll install the OS later. So I'm just gonna scrap it and then the virtual machine, and then I will start a new virtual machine. Typical. I will install the operating system later. Microsoft Windows 2016. And again, I'm going to select my Z drive because I am running out of space on my computer. And I created a folder called Virtual Machine. I'll use this virtual machine. 2016. And 60 gigs. Once again, I want to increase the RAM, at least bring it up to 4. Processors 2, core 2. So let it just create the virtual machine. Yes, Sean. And yeah, don't worry about no stories needed. Yeah, just say you don't have the product key, because Windows will give you 30-day free trial to begin with, and that'll be more than enough for us. Now, edit virtual machine settings. Now, use ISO image. Now let's power this on. There we go. Yeah. Next. Install now. I want the standard evaluation. Or I can even do the data center and just have more features with desktop experience. Make sure you select the desktop experience. If you don't have desktop experience, then it wouldn't work. Or we can just go with standard because it's a little bit less footprint. So I accept. Since it's a brand new, you're not really upgrading, you can do either or. Let's just go for this. I like going in custom so I know what I'm signing up for. So yes, I have only one hard drive, which is fine, 60 gigs. Unsuccessful EFI network, start Pixie over network. Okay, so Ryan, did you delete that previous VM completely and created a new VM? New virtual machine? Or can you share your screen with us, Ryan, so I can kind of see what you're doing and maybe I can guide you and then I'll take over control again? Is that okay? Yeah, delete the old one because it'll free up the drive space as well. And as Zohaib and Jacob said, that
Guys, I think you might have to delete it not from the virtual VMware workstation only, but you also have to delete it from your documents, My Documents, into a virtual machine or wherever you have saved that VM. So you have to delete it from there as well.
yeah. So for me, I just ended up creating another folder to save time. But yeah, if you're running out of space, Zohaib is right. Just delete it, or if it causes confusion, just go do the extra step and just delete it. How about you, Kate? How's your download coming along? And Sean and Jacob, how about you guys? Are you guys so far so good? Do you have any questions or ran into any other roadblocks? I have to add VM setup from. So you had a VM setup? I'm recording, so I'll catch up after. Okay, no problem. But where did you get stuck, Sean? Maybe I can just guide you, even though you're recording. Where? How far are you, man? Don't worry about it. Where did you leave off? So I'll try to get you up to speed. While this is gonna take at least another 15-20 minutes. So you tell me where you are, and I can try to bring you up to speed. And that applies to everyone, guys. You're not holding me back or anyone else back. It's just a conscious decision we all made to kind of improve our careers. So if you're falling behind right now, let's just do it. Okay, Kate, that's not a problem. So where are you, Sean? How far are you? Okay. Which ISO? Do you want to share your screen so I can kind of see where you are, or maybe I can guide you? and it'll be like a learning experience for all of us. Because when Kate is doing it too, it'll help her out as well. And same for Ryan, if you don't mind. So you can take a look at it and learn from you as well. Which ISO did you use? Because we have Windows 2010 and 2016. So even if you started doing the Windows 2010 installation, that's fine. You can let it finish, and then you can start off in the Windows 2016 installation. Ryan, did you enable the virtualization on your BIOS? And can you send me the model number of your laptop? Which one are you using? Yeah, it's just the error I posted. Okay. Yeah, but these are PXE errors. They're networking errors. It's nothing related to... share your screen with us, please. So I can see what's happening. Okay. Configure your driver. Oh, wait. Are you... Hold on. Go to escape, please. Escape. Okay. Well, maybe it hasn't refreshed yet. I am recording right now, but I don't know, Jacob, how good the quality is because I haven't tested it right now. Okay. No, Ryan, if you're enabling virtualization, okay, let's see. Did you enable virtualization on your actual laptop? Boot from BCD. Yeah, so let's just delete this ISO all. Yeah, now I'm seeing it. Yeah. Let's just delete this, shut it down. And let's just start from scratch. Right click, delete, remove, yeah, and delete. Now let's go create a new virtual machine. Go to just typical recommended, yeah, and then I will install the system later. No, don't go to that. Go to the third option, please. Microsoft Windows 2016, yeah, that's fine. Windows, go to browse. Copy the path first of all.
Faraz, why isn't he creating the VM first and then adding the ISO?
Hold on, let's check. No,
Because you're doing it again. You're creating the VM with ISO. So
no, this time he didn't. So go to VMware where you don't have the folder. Okay, VMware ISO. Because here, Ryan, you're only picking the folder where your virtual machine is going to be saved. So you want to remember that location. So, okay, 60 gigs. Next. Go to customize hardware.
you clicked next.
It's
Okay.
all good. Yeah, you can update it here. Edit virtual machine settings. So bring up the RAM a little bit. You have 16 gigs on your computer, so if you can give it 8. And then processors. Okay. Now go okay. Actually, sorry, you gotta open up your virtual settings again. My mistake. Go to your CD DVD SATA. Now go to select ISO. No, so don't. Where is your ISO file saved? Okay. Now it's click OK. Now let's see. Interesting. EFI network start PXC over IPv4. Shut it down, please. Just power off. Let's go to your settings again. Okay, so go to your network adapter. You are NAT, which is fine. And let me just research your error as well. Unsuccessful.
What are we looking for us?
There's an error Ryan posted above. I'll post it in the chat again. Just trying to figure out why he's getting that. You have to click Control G in order to activate the keyboard inside. Okay, so Ryan, it's saying one person had the similar issue, so restart it. I'll share the link as well. It's saying you have to click Control plus G in order to activate the keyboard inside the guest OS, so that when the install disk is connecting. So let's try that. Control G. Yeah, if you click on the link here, please try get asset checksum Microsoft website. ISO is not broken. It's not. Virtual CD is connected. Power on. Some error. Yeah, some others are saying that it could just be compatibility issue.
For us, I think that'll work from. You can change that option through VM. Go to settings, and there's an option right beside hardware, and then there is a advanced option. I think we have the BIOS option there.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it. Input grabbed. Okay, so Ryan, just right there. So just you might have to shut down the VM because it may not let you change the settings. So just power it down, please. So now, just on your Windows 2016, go right click, settings, advanced, options, then go to options, then advanced, and settings. Let me just see which one we're changing. Same issue we worked with. Which one? Setting option to BIOS is what it did. The message suggested. So which option? Okay. Yeah, first it was UEFI, now it's BIOS. Okay, do that. Now let's reboot it. There we go. Now it's much more promising. Okay, now on to you, Sean. What's happening? And I'll share my screen. So mine is going smoothly. It was just doing its thing in the background while we were just troubleshooting with Ryan. Ryan, it might take you, I guess, 15-20 minutes. I did install Windows with desktop experience. Make sure you install that Windows Standard with desktop experience. How about you, Kate? How are you coming along? And Wakar, what about you? Where are you with all this? So, as you can see, the installation takes a little bit longer, but we have to do this, of course. And if you have more powerful computer, then you can do it. Mine is only 8 gigs of RAM on my laptop. I'm overdue for a new one. Yeah, you have 16 gigs. Yours should go by rather smoothly or faster, and you gave it 8 gigs of RAM as well. Any questions anyone have at this point?
Fraz, I'll be back. I'm just going to pick up the food, okay? Quickly,
Okay.
until you guys are set up.
Okay, no problem. If you guys want, in the meantime, we can create another virtual machine while it's installing, and that'll be for Windows 2010. I'm not gonna install the OS yet, but I will create the machine already. Windows 10. I'll keep it at 60 gigs as well. Give it 2 gigs for now. Well, this one is doing its thing. Then afterwards I'll attach it to this. Kate, how's the download coming along? How far you've gotten? Hi, Don.
So we are creating the virtual machine right now.
That's right. So, did you install the uh, VMware already, the VM workstation?
I do.
Okay, have you installed it already?
Yes.
Hey Don, I'm recording it right now, and a couple other guys are recording too. So once it's done, we can share it with you. That's not a problem. Or if you wanna just quickly download the ISO files which I've shared with everyone, I can try to get you up to speed. I have about an hour left. So today my goal is to get at least the installation completed for Windows 10 and Windows Server. So it's up to you. And Kate, did you install the workstation, Windows VMware workstation?
I think so, and I'm finished downloading the ISO file and the server.
Okay. So install the VMware workstation and then create a separate VM like you've seen us create. And then afterwards install the Windows 2016. And if you run into any issues, then you let us know.
Do I need to like do any custom modification or just go all the way through?
Go for the recommended, but then afterwards do make custom.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Ryan? How are you making out so far? Yeah, you can enter any password. Just make sure you remember the password. Or it could be a password which you named it initially. Let me quickly check. Finished. And let me send the link. Okay, so moment of truth, let's just try to log in. And you also want to make sure after you log in that you install the VMware tools as well on the server, because that will prompt it. With that you can install the keyboard functionality and the mouse functionality improve if you don't have the VMware tools installed in there. To finish installing. Now, first thing I want to do, as I mentioned, I'm going to update my VMware tools. It just does it automatically. Once you do it, it mounts the CD. You're logged into the. If you do not see VMware tools installing, yeah, it should start. But you guys can see it. So you see the lag and responsiveness and everything. That's why you want to make sure that you install the VMware tool. For now, you just select yes for networking because we are selected on NAT. And then you want to run this if it's not automatically mounting for you. Ryan, if you go to VM on top, you would see under manage, it'll say install VMware tools. You'll be able to see it there. Hit next. I'll just do typical. How are you doing, Kate? Are you okay? And Sean as well? Sean Wakar? And this time you would have to restart it for the new updates to take place. Yeah, no problem, Sean, because what I'm planning to do is just get you guys up to installation of Windows 10 and Windows Server. I don't think today would be enough time to actually install Active Directory on the server, just so everyone needs to be there. Because if you guys fall behind on that part, that's problematic for you guys. So if you have to dedicate more time on this part, I honestly have no problem. But as far as it goes, how come you have disabled that part? Equals 7. Ryan. Yeah, because you should have been able to share it. Like take control and share screen. I'm not sure why it's not letting you. And I also wanted to ask you guys, are you still okay with having a class on Sunday as well, or you just only want to keep it once a week, um, Wednesday night? I'm good with both, but I don't know everyone's schedule and availability. So whatever the majority wants, we'll stick with that. We can take a vote on it. If you guys want only once a week, I'm good with it. If you want twice a week, I can do twice a week. It's up to you guys. Whatever the majority wants, we can do that. I'm kind of curious, why can't I get Sean to share his screen? Strangely enough, I have Server 16 installed in VirtualBox, no problem. Yeah, I don't mind Sunday. Okay.
So I am in this boot manager.
Okay. Can you share your screen, please, Kate?
Okay, please wait a second.
Sure. Even if you have it on VirtualBox, Sean, then I guess I don't think it's a problem as long as you can get all these to talk to each other, the Windows 10 or whatnot, so that's fine. I've used VirtualBox as well in the past. It's not an issue, but it'll be a good troubleshooting practice to figure out why you're getting stuck or where you're getting stuck. Like for Ryan, it was just ultimately it was a small click. So you will run into some issues like that. But if you're using VirtualBox, or if you decide to use VirtualBox, you have to keep using VirtualBox. Admit. Hi Kate, can you share your screen? Hi Michael.
Hey guys, I'm back. So are we ready? Or we are still
Well, we've installed Windows 2016, and we're gonna do Windows 10 afterwards. Then I'm gonna call it a day because I want to make sure everyone has these two components installed. Because once we do the Active Directory and stuff, I need everyone to be on the same page. So I
okay.
just only created the virtual machine. Now I'm gonna install the actual ISO for it. Uh, okay, let's see, what are you seeing here? This is for Windows 10. So what's the challenge you're having there, Kate? Okay, so you have Attempting VMware virtual namespace unsuccessful. Start PXE. So shut this down, power off. First I want to check if you have the same issue or not. So just right click settings. No, just on the Windows 10. So just on the Windows 10, go ahead. It should be, just click on it. Now go to edit virtual settings. Hi Chantal. And go to options on the top. Go to advanced please. And change the UEFI to BIOS. Now go OK. Now let's try to power this on again. Yeah, I think this is gonna fail. Can you hear me, Chantal? Initial Pixie OS not found. So go right click again. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so let's go right click again. I'll be with you in a few minutes, Chantal. You missed a few main things for it, but we're recording as well and I can share it with you. But I can definitely try to get you up to speed as much as possible. We're just troubleshooting right now for Kate. She's trying to install the operating system. Today's objective is I want to install Windows 2016 and Windows 10 operating system for everyone. I shared a folder with everyone there, Chantal. If you give me your email address, I can share it with you and you can start downloading the files and then I can help you get up to speed. So Kate, right click again please on your Windows 10 and go to settings please. Your CD SATA, go there. CD DVD, not on options this time, go to hardware. CD, oh, okay, we haven't selected an ISO, so use ISO image. No, just keep it auto detect. Let's say use ISO image, browse. So where you have stored it. So first thing is you're using Windows 10, you want to use Windows 2016. We can rename the VM, that's not a problem, but let's start off with this one. So yeah, open. And Ryan is right, so you want to click on connected as well on the device status. Yeah, connect power on. Oh, just cancel that please. So go OK. And just right click the Windows 10 over here, right click and rename. Windows 2016, you can just rename it. Yeah, that's fine. And now you want to, from the server, from the top, where the pause sign is, you just want to restart it from there. Yeah. Resume, and then it should say restart, like right underneath, restart guest. Yeah. No, it didn't restart. You can just press Control Alt Delete, like right next to the pause you see um, 3 tabs. I think that's what that is. Let me confirm. Yeah, so it's send Control Alt Delete to virtual machine if you do that. Just right here. Next to the pause. Yeah, yeah, no, this one right here, yeah. Send that. Now let's see. It's doing network boot first. It shouldn't be doing that. So just right click and let's go to settings again. It does not need to do network boot first. Not there, just on the name, so Windows 2016. SATA. Press connected as well. Yeah, okay. And then just power it down. This time just shut down guest. And actually right click and just shut down the virtual machine as well on Windows 2016. So go to power. Yeah, just go to power on. Yeah, there we go. Now it's loading up your file. And Chantel, can you just type out your email address on the chat, please, and I can send you the files which you will need to download, please. So, okay, you're on the right track now, Kate. Same thing we have to do for Windows 2010 now. Windows 2016 is up and running on my end. Right now, I know what I said on the presentation, but right now it's just dynamic IP. I haven't changed it because I want to change it with everyone else. Right now it's just connected. But Windows 10, I'm getting to that Windows 10 installation. Okay, let me share it with you. So Chantel, what I'm sharing with you is just the OS file. So you're gonna need Windows 2016. I don't know if you can see my screen. This is the Windows 2016, Windows 2010, VMware Workstation, and VMware Workstation serial key. You would need all of these basically just to kind of get started. So you would have to download it. And I've also shared a link for a Telegram channel if you want to join. So if you want to troubleshoot or whatnot, you can do it from there, and during the weekdays we can help you out. Okay, so is Windows 2016 installed for Ryan yourself? I know Zohaib it's done for you. Wakar, I don't know what's your status. Sean, I know you're struggling a little bit. And now let's go to Windows 10 installation. Okay, that's fine, good. So it'll probably take you maybe, depending on your internet speed, Chantel, maybe half hour to download these things. Um, while we're downloading, um, if you want, you can tell me a little bit about yourself and everyone else. Even if you want to type it out, that's fine. Just if I need to kind of give you a brief rundown of what we have done earlier, I can sit with you for a few minutes after the class and I can tell you, so you can kind of get caught up. And then Windows 10 is very straightforward, two-step installation, just like we did for Windows 2016. Okay. So I'm going to install the Enterprise Edition N, and then just hit next. No, sorry, not education. Oh man. I want the Enterprise Edition. I always like doing custom install, as I mentioned. 60 gig, OneDrive allocated. How's your installation coming along, Kate? Good.
It asked to install Windows Server 2016 standard evaluation was evaluation desktop.
Yes, so you do want the one with desktop experience. I can't hear you anymore, Kate. Your voice just faded.
So it asked upgrade or custom.
You want to go custom.
Cool.
Custom, then you will see your hard drive. You want to select that. And the reason I like doing custom is generally because I want to see what options I have. In other organizations, or if you're doing it, you might end up creating 2-3 separate disks, even virtually, and then one disk, your C drive, would just only be for the operating system and Windows updates, and then your software or applications are going to be on your another separate disk. It might be your D drive or anything else. But for this intent and purposes, we're just only using one drive, which is the C drive, and we're just going forward with that.
OneDrive. So here.
Not OneDrive as in the Microsoft OneDrive, like this, the OneDrive which we've created.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, I only have a drive 0 over here.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
That's all you need.
Yeah, so it's looking good.
Okay. So if you want, in the background, you can start the Windows 10 as well. You can create the VM for it, and you can start off with that as well if you choose to. It just depends on how much RAM you have on your computer, because it might slow it down, both performance. So that's why I kind of waited to create one and then the other. Chantal, so are you planning to get into IT, or you're already in IT? You're planning to upgrade? Let me know a little bit about yourself, please. Just so I know like which area you might need more help. Oh, nice. Yeah, cybersecurity is the way to go as well. So I was telling everyone earlier that this course actually has a certification as well.
Hello?
Yes, hi Kate. Yes, hello? So Chantal, I was telling everyone earlier that this course actually has a certification as well if you want to do it. It's AD70-740, but the catch is Microsoft is retiring that certification end of this month, so on January 31st. The thing is, I have the questions. If anyone wants it, I can share it with them. It's going to cost you $165 US, and it's you just go register in Prometric or Provision, and then you can write your exam to anywhere, anytime within that time range. I have about 280 questions, and you're going to get around 40 to 60 questions depending which version of the exam you get. So if you guys are interested, let me know. I can share that with everyone too. And afterwards, Microsoft is retiring the certificate, and then the certifications are going to change into as a role-based certifications rather than a program-based certifications. And that's fine. I can share the questions with you. Let me just try to find it. Okay, let's see how far my installation is going. Is everyone's installation also going? So I'm assuming because you're going to school for cybersecurity, you're quite comfortable with like the networking protocols and everything else along the way, or you think you need a little bit more of a refresher on that? Okay, perfect. And have you used VMware Workstation or VirtualBox, anything like that before? Okay. You can try VMware Workstation, which is there, and see if you can install the Windows 10 and 2016 OS, because I'm not planning to go beyond that today, just because I want to make sure everyone's is at the same pace. And then I'm planning to have a class on Sunday, like 10 to 1, I'm thinking. and then pick up from there. So 10 to 1 on Sundays and Wednesdays 6 to 9. Let me know if that works for everyone. I'll send out the invites for Sunday, hopefully by tonight or tomorrow. I'll actually just drop the questions in the same folder if anyone is interested for the exam, where I have the VMware and everything else, and you guys can just, so that way everyone has it, not just one person. Cool. And how far you've gotten, Kate?
I am setting up my account.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, and I've shared the questions with everyone else in case they want to write the exam, which I highly recommend it because it's still going to be valid for the next 3 years. They're just retiring it by the end of this month. Let me see where's my installation, how far it has gotten. For me, it's taking long. How far are you, Ryan? Yes, uh, we are creating two VMs. Okay, perfect. Ryan, you're done. Sean, are you using VirtualBox for it? Or VMware? Okay, perfect. So Kate, you're on the interface now, so you just have to make sure that you install the VMware tools once you log in from here. And we need to make sure we do that for Windows 10 and Windows 2016. Alright, perfect. Yeah, because that's the other thing we need to do, and I guess we can do it in our own time as well, is just to make sure you're updating your Windows. I'm going to just start the Windows 2016 update here. And then afterwards, next week, we'll just make sure we're giving everything IP. Percent. Did you eat? No, I'm still there. I just muted. I don't know if you ate or not. No, I turned it off. Yeah. Some people came and dropped off, but total 7, 8 people technically. One person had to go. He told me. But I'm recording as well. That's fun. Yeah, Zoe would be avocado be I told these guys about it too. Yeah. Cool. So you've created the server. Now, did you do Windows update? Not Windows update, sorry. VM tools update there, Kate?
Oh, there's a pop-up when
Sorry, your voice just fainted.
I don't think I updated tool.
Yeah, so VMware tools you want to update.
Okay.
It's the Windows update go. I'll just slow it down. Oh. Zoe, is your Windows 2012 patched up already? Like all the updates are completed?
Yeah, I'm just installing my Windows 10. My server is already ready, but I'm
Yeah.
just working on my Windows 10. It's just installing. It's ready. It's done installing. It's just starting now.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not sure where can I buy the tool or update.
So you would go at VM at the top, and over here it will say install VMware tools. Mine says reinstall because I had installed it already. So it'll say
okay.
install VMware tools, and then it should start automatically. If it doesn't,
okay.
then you can go to this PC, and you should see a mounted drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Let me see.
Or if you're not sure, then you can share your screen. No problem, Chantal. No, Sean, it doesn't have to be powered off. In fact, actually, it needs to be powered on because once it's going to install it, it's going to ask you to reboot it. So if it's powered off, the drive never gets mounted, or the ISO for the VMware tool.
So this VMware tool is typical or complete or custom?
Just do typical. That's fine.
Typical.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm all set.
yeah.
So this is the place where we can do Active Directory.
This is the server, and within that, yes, you will install the role of Active Directory, and from there on forward, you can do much more. Now, if you're done with that, if the VMware tool is installing, then you want to move on to creating a VM for Windows 10, and you can
Okay.
start working on that ISO.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool. Ryan, to be honest, I think that's as far as I'm gonna go. If you're done with both, if you want, you can even drop off. Because once everyone is installed, that's when I'm gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna resume on Sunday, 10 a.m. EST till 1 p.m. EST. Hope that's okay with everyone. Or if anyone else who is done up to that point, you can just, if you want to drop off, you can drop off. It might be getting late for others. Just make sure your windows are up to date or Windows updates are completed.
Okay, for us, so when are we expecting to have a next class?
I'm aiming for Sunday 10 a.m. Um, till 1 p.m. Why you working?
Yeah, we're working until 8:30.
Oh, well, most of the people are okay with it unless everyone else says. And if we have the recording, I'll send you the recording.
Uh, yeah, because I didn't want to miss this next part. Because when we entering into a next part, that's where once we'll be done setting up the domain and everything,
Yeah,
that's where we enter into the DHCP and all of those other details.
yeah, we do. Well, do what you can. If anything, I'll figure something else out, give you the recording or whatnot, and you can post it on the Telegram channel.
Okay. Can we do Sunday evening if you and everyone is okay or no?
Sunday evening is very difficult for me because Sunday
Okay,
evening
that's fine. That's fine.
I'm studying for some of my own stuff. So
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah,
Say okay.
no problem.
Sure.
Waqar, what are you saying? So mine is I have bias issue. Should we stop at the server manager? Yes, Sean. We can just stop at the server manager and just make sure your Windows is up to date because I don't want to lose time on Sunday just updating the Windows.
Okay, guys. Then see you on Sunday. Hopefully,
All right, man.
you got saying 10 a.m. Can you pull it like a bit more early?
Early.
You can ask everyone whatever is suitable for everyone.
Are you
Then
guys okay with 9 a.m.? Does everyone want to join 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. is better for everyone? What does work for majority?
because then I can just
Oh,
finish.
I'm fine. I'm okay with all day.
Okay.
Because I'll finish at 8:30 a.m. because I work all night. So I'll finish at 8:30 a.m. If you all are okay, can you not possible? Otherwise, it's fine if it's not okay with you guys.
So, well, we'll wait for the other people to answer. If not, we'll stick with 10. If, for Sean, 9 also works. Can you walk
Sean's
me?
good. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
Minnie, Ryan, and Chantel, can you guys also let us know, please?
yeah, that's fine.
Because if you guys are not okay, then you guys can keep going. I'll probably just wait for the recording then.
That works for me.
That works for you? Okay, so that's fine. 9 a.m. works.
Thank you, Chantel.
And Chantal, if you want to share your screen, I can walk you through where you might be running into the error.
Okay.
Okay. So 9 to 12, let's keep it at that. I'm getting an error message that Alexa.
So for us, it seems like everyone is very cooperating and They allowed us to start at 9 on Sunday. I'm just waiting for Ryan's response now.
Ryan already said earlier that he may or may not be able to join on Sunday, so he's gonna watch the recording.
Oh.
So that's fine. So 9 a.m. will work. And Chantel, if you want to share your screen, I can walk you through it. Mimi did, or Kate just posted.
9, and I think Wakar will be okay as well because it's Sunday.
Yeah.
You're okay with it for us, right?
Yeah, I'm
It's not
fine.
difficult for you, right?
No, man, I'm fine. I'm usually up by 7:30, 8 o'clock, even on Sundays.
Oh wow. I stay up all night, so
Yes.
okay,
Chantel
guys.
just-
Then thank you so much. I really appreciate for your cooperation, everyone.
All right, no worries. Go have fun.
So I am installing the Windows 10. It asks firmware type, BIOS or UEFI.
BIOS.
Okay.
Chantel, I don't see your screen yet. Yeah, just select present now. There we go. Alright, so you need to show me your, I'm assuming maybe you might have two monitors, or, okay, so you're right here. So go to edit virtual machine settings. No, not here, on the Windows 10, yeah? Yes. And then go to options at the top, next to the hardware. So this right here, options. Go to advanced. At the very last one. No, underneath the settings, you're gonna see all the things, general, power, or whatnot. So the very last one is advanced. Okay, so you select where you see the dot on the UEFI, you want to change it to BIOS. Now go to hardware. Before you hit OK, I want to check the other settings too. RAM is okay. Let's go to your processor. Let's give it a little bit more speed. Make it 2 and 2. And you've mounted your drive at the right location. Let's just recheck. The CD DVD, click on that. It's ISO download Windows, so just hit OK.
Okay, for us, I have a thing just to let you know. On Windows 10, when I just installed it, now it's a bit different. Now, before it opens up and shows you the desktop, it's confirming everything you want to set up through Azure. It's your own device or your work device. Who will be the user? What will be the password? If it's from the local Active Directory or from the Azure or from the Azure Active Directory. So just for everyone's information, we might wanna hold it because we have to set up the server. And
No,
for us,
that's fine. Even if we go
or
through
we will
that,
be connecting it with the the local Active Directory, right?
no, that's fine. Even if you have that there, later on, once you connect it to the server, all that gets overwritten because you're going to be joining with a local, not local admin, like the domain admin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So it was asking me all the other options, so I selected instead of Azure Active Directory, I selected the local Active Directory.
Yeah, that's fine. So now you can power on the virtual machine, Chantel. So go 64-bit.
I think for us, Mini is asking for the product key. I think we don't need it.
No, Mini, we don't need a product key. You can just skip that part. Because these are trial versions and we have more than enough time to uninstall, reinstall them, and if anything, if it expires, you can always create another VM and then your 30-day trial resets. So you go next, Chantel, install now. And while you're at it, Chantal, you want to create another VM for Windows 2016, but let's not install the OS yet because this has to be done a little bit differently. So go recommended. Yeah, so go next. No, so you want to select I will install the operating system later. So go next. Scroll on version 2016. Next. If that's where you're saving it, then yeah, next. 60 gigs is fine. You can customize the hardware now and just bring up a little bit RAM. And yeah, that's fine. And how are you doing, Kate? So yeah, you just want to give it 2 and 2. And maybe bring up the RAM a little bit. Yes.
So I'm installing my Windows 10 here. Update or custom?
Okay. I'm sorry, you're installing the Windows 10 update?
Yes. Update or custom? What type of installation you want?
You want to do custom. Custom, please.
Okay. Custom again.
Yeah. So here you're, Chantal, you're good. Now all you gotta do is just OK it for now, because if you do 2 installations, your computer is gonna be slow. So let's go back to Windows 10. I don't have a product key for now. That's fine. Skip it. So just go Windows 10 Pro. And then of course all the terms and conditions. Go for advanced. I just like doing it advanced just so it shows in case you have more drives or whatnot. In your case and in everyone's case it's just only one, so just go next. Yeah, so you're good to go there. And then let's come down to Windows 2016. I just want to make sure your installation at least boots up properly. You don't have to continue with the installation, but just want to make sure. So you attach the ISO, if I remember. I can't remember. So okay. If you haven't attached the ISO, then just go to
No, I don't think we did it.
okay, so just go to edit virtual machine. So CD/DVD, then use ISO image. Yeah, open.
Oh, now I'm clicking
I'll
on.
just go okay now. You're good. And power this on. sure if you were there for that or not. I told everyone I've created like a Telegram channel as well. In case you want to join it and post questions there while we're not connected, I'll try to answer whatever I can.
Okay.
So I just posted the link. Okay, so you're getting the same error others got. Okay, so let's power this guy down. So with with Workstation, if you want to get out of it because your mouse was clicked, you press Control and Alt at the same time. Then your mouse can come out of it.
Okay.
So just power this off. You can just right click on Windows Server 2016. Yeah, whatever works for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So just shut down, guess.
That would be good.
Yeah. Shut down. So let's go to your edit virtual machine settings. Let's go to options, advanced. So change that to BIOS, please. Yeah. Hardware, go back there. Yeah, the hardware tab. CD, DVD. Again, I want to see if it says connected. Okay, yeah, because sometimes it's not. So just go OK, and let's try to power it on again. And this is also an evaluation version, so you don't have to put in any license key or anything like that on this either.
Okay.
And Wakar, you were having some kind of BIOS issue. Can you elaborate more? What was the issue you were having? Like your virtualization is not enabled, or what's happening? Okay, the following device is connected. Okay, there we go. Okay. So that is doing its thing. And how are you doing over there, Kate?
I'm doing fine. I think I got it all set.
Okay, perfect. And how about yourself there, Sean? Okay, so yours is coming along. That's all we have to do today, Chantal. Before, what I did was I'll take over the control, or I'll start sharing again.
Okay.
Because you have the background, you might already know a lot of it, so maybe you didn't miss much.
Are we doing the standard evaluation?
Which one are you on? Windows 2016?
Yes.
You can do either one, standard or data center. Either one is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it will be the desktop experience, right?
You definitely want the desktop experience.
Okay.
Yeah. the only thing which is left now is once you guys log on, make sure that you do your Windows update, and you don't have to touch anything else. That we can just cover up everything up on Sunday. That's all there is for today. So Chantal, I think it might just take you another half hour, 45 minutes, depending on your RAM and speed, to finish the installation, and then the rest we can catch up on Sunday if you guys are okay with it. Do you guys have any questions?
No, I'm good for us. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Alright, take care. Bye. How about you, Kate?
See you, man. Bye.
See ya.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good? Okay. Hi, Sean. You were saying something? Alright, thanks, Chantal. So I'm gonna drop off, and I'll send out the invites for Sunday, and then we will pick up from there. Sounds good, guys?
Yeah. Okay. Do you need a teaching assistant like help you to schedule and set up assignments, prepare class beforehand? I can be a volunteer to do that.
No, I really appreciate it. I don't need anyone right now, but if the need grows, I'll definitely keep that in mind, there, Kate. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Right, take care.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.